Just throw this in.
I don't want to put this on.
The Village of Hainesville public hearing will now come to order on April 10th, Tuesday at 7:04 p.m. If everybody would please rise and I'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustee Jaranowski is absent. Trustees Crease.
Here.
Duberstein.
Here.
Barrett.
Here.
Daly.
Here.
And Washington.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Trustee Jaranowski was called into work tonight, and that is why he's absent. If I could have a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Crease.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Washington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, this is the public hearing on the proposed appropriation ordinance for the fiscal year May 1st, 2013 through April 30th, 2014. If there's anybody that would like to address the board or have any comments at this time, please step forward. Is there any discussion from the board or comments? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Crease.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Washington.
Aye.
Public hearing adjourned at 7:06. And we will now open the regular board meeting. Roll call.
Mayor Linda Soto.
Present.
Trustees Crease.
Present.
Duberstein.
Here.
Barrett.
Here.
Daly.
Here.
And Washington.
Here.
Jaranowski still absent.
Didn't get off work yet. Is there any public comments for the village board this evening? Did the clerk receive any cards?
I didn't.
Jim? we need
No
your
card.
name. No card. You're cardless. No, you can.
I'm cardless. Okay, let me see your hands. I'll see you.
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, we'll talk.
Here, you want to use mine?
It is on.
Right here.
If you need it to me, yeah, I apologize.
I feel like I'm a disruptive force.
No,
Never.
it's me, the clerk. There you go, sir, sorry.
Well, now that the election season's over with, congratulations to you all who ran. Good going. I too, as some of you know, did run, and the magic didn't happen. But I just wanted to just share this with you. I was really appreciative of the support that the people of Hainesville came through. It was our highest ranking top vote getting area. And we're all delighted, and it's nice to be known that when you step up to the plate in your own community, that the folks here, your fellow citizens, really step up and back you. So I really appreciate that. Thank you all.
Thank you, and we applaud your efforts, Jim.
Thank you.
We hope to see you back on the ballot somewhere. Trustees in 2 years, you know.
I have a public comment, take off my trustee hat for a minute. I want to thank,
Microphone.
I don't want to thank you for the microphone. I want to thank the board and the village employees for their care concern and cards and donations during the time of the passing of my father-in-law. It was much appreciated. So, thank you.
Is there any public comments? Anybody else that wants to address the board? Going. Okay, before we move on with tonight's agenda, everybody may have noticed that we have the ever-famous quarterly birthday cake. And we skipped the last quarter, I'm not sure why. So we want to say happy birthday from last quarter that we missed to Kathy, our village clerk, and Jeff Gately, our public works superintendent. And then happy birthday to Wally Crease. John Garanowski, whose birthday was yesterday, and he's still well, we can go visit him at Walmart when we're done here tonight. And then we have Kevin and Gary that have birthdays coming up later this month, so we're going to give you some birthday cake as well tonight. So happy birthday, and we're going to cut the cake and let everybody partake in some cake while we go through the rest of the meeting. So please, who's the cake cutter tonight?
I gotta wash, but, do you mind, Kevin? That's fine.
Okay. Okay, all right. So while Kelly's getting ready and doing that, we'll continue on. Omnibus vote agenda.
There has to be a change.
Okay. Yep.
On the bills, we're going to delete the Native Restoration Services bill for 50.
Well, then you need to remove it. We're removing the bills payable from the omnibus.
Yes,
then,
okay, yes.
All right, and then we'll talk about that. That'll be the first item of business following the omnibus.
Okay.
So we're
Wasn't sure how to do
all right, so we're removing the April bills payable, item 3. So, do we have a motion for approval of the omnibus for items 1, 2, and 4?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Crease,
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daley.
Aye.
And Waddington.
Aye.
Okay. Next item up is the bills payable. So on the bills payable report, it's Native Restoration.
that. Yes,
Okay, so we're looking at,
at $5,500, and we're removing it because we're not sure how many plants we're really going to need in the various areas because of the amount of water that's there. We're hoping that some will reseed and then we'll know how many to plant, and we're going to use that money.
okay, so the bills payable minus the Native Restoration for a
Right.
total of $5,500.
Right.
Okay, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Trustees Crease,
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daley.
Aye.
And Waddington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, we'll move on to reports and communications from mayor and other officers. Our village engineer typically would be at this board meeting. Because we had to switch to Wednesday, since we are a polling place, this was election day here yesterday, he had a conflict and was unable to be here, so he will bring us up to speed. I think that Jeff can keep us abreast of anything going on.
Yeah, actually, I printed off his report.
Oh, wonderful, okay.
I don't know if you guys had copies of it, but I'd be more than happy just to.
Yeah, why don't you go over that if you have it, Jeff?
Sure, under the general stormwater, they're still working on the MS4, we're getting ready to wrap that up. That's for the permit for the IEPA, which they just have to do a couple of stormwater samples, testing and documentation. It's just a standard thing we have to do on a yearly basis. For the motor fuel tanks, we don't have any major improvements planned for this year. Since we did complete all of Misty Hill last year, half of that money is being taken out of this year's budget. There may be a little bit of curb and patching that needs to be done, some sidewalk repair, but nothing to the extent of what we did last year, which coincides with the plan. So we're kind of a year ahead of our 5-year plan. So we're doing fine with that. For the water tower, I actually spoke with Rick Lieber this afternoon. They're hoping to start at the end of the month or early May, depending on when the weather breaks.
say.
That's what's going on. Speaking of that, I got, or Terry Brown got the samples back from, that we took next door, from the Public Works and all. They came back very, very, very good.
Good as in excellent water quality?
Excellent water quality, better than the well 3, by a long shot. Better than
It's
well
not pulling the iron, like
There's
well.
very little iron. They did volatility tests. I mean, there's, you know, the arsenic, lead, minute, well underneath
Awesome.
the standard. So he will be dropping off the actual results tomorrow. We will talk about plans down the road. For the long term. What's that?
Isn't that next Wednesday? Oh.
The 17th, yes, yes. And then Washington Street, everybody might be interested in this. Due to some right-of-way issues, there's a revised schedule of improvements.
Again,
Again,
again.
Phase 1, the Cedar Lake Road to Hainesville Road, the bids are due April 2013, which is right around now. Phase 2, which is Hainesville Road to Arden Way, this is the one that affects us, because this is the one where we have to relocate the force main. That one, the bids are due November 2013. And then the Phase 3, which is the underpass for the railroad tracks, the bids are due in September of 2014.
Jeff, is that going to, that's going to alter when those bids come through and when they move the force main? Do we have to look at whether or not that's going to alter our payment schedule?
Yes.
So we might not be paying this coming fiscal, this,
Well, no, we checked this. We already checked this. I called and talked to Lake County DOT. And the way it works is you always pay as soon as the bid is awarded.
Correct.
And typically, it's 95% up front. We negotiated, so we don't have to pay the 50%.
I understand it, but with the bid's not due until November, I don't know how long it takes them to process, to
It'll be
decide.
awarded before the end of this fiscal year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what they're anticipating that construction would commence 2 to 3 months after the date that the bids are due.
Because they will start working in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
All right.
confirm that.
That's where they're at now. I mean, this is subject to change, and we had talked about maybe not putting in the budget for the force main.
No, I called them, they said we
put
need
it
to
there.
leave it in, because they said the bid will be awarded before the end of our fiscal year. If they feel it needs to be changed, then we have to do a whole new agreement, because we already approved an agreement and signed off that we're paying at 50%.
Okay, it's just something else to keep our eye on.
No, it's a good question, and that's why we called. But I did not dare take it out.
Okay.
And that's everything that Greg has here.
Okay.
One other thing for you and Greg, you made me think about is since we're in year 3 of the road improvement plan, is it time to start looking beyond?
Yes.
So we have constantly have that 5-year goal.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Jim Rocker, village attorney, have anything you'd like to say to us tonight?
Certainly, thank you. A few things here. Worked with village staff, Jeff Dealey, on developing an RFP for landscaping services for several of the areas throughout the village. Also, been working with the attorney and the surveyor for the Firestone subdivision. We approved the plat of subdivision last month, but they've been trying to refine and add legal descriptions that include meets and bounds for the amended plat for the stormwater detention basin, and also the signature plat we received from them appears to need to have some corrections to it, so we'll get those worked out so that that can be recorded. And then finally, we've had some communications with the Cranberry Lake North Homeowners Association to clarify the process for the application for hardship rentals within their units. The process we established with their attorney about a year ago, they had been following, but of late they've sent a couple of requests that they didn't approve prior to sending it to us, so we clarified that the process required them to approve them before they get presented to the village board. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Jim. All right, we're going to go back to Jeff for the Public Works report with the nice mouthful of cake that he has there.
Why don't we take a second?
Okay, it's a deal. I'll give you 2 minutes. Run.
Anybody in the audience? There's the cake.
They all got it. They all got it. At least they take good care of everybody. You're not slow.
Kathy?
Vanilla.
You like a lot of frosting?
I want a flower.
You got a pink one.
Okay, got the important business out of the way. Everybody has cake?
Okay, my mouth is empty now.
Okay, all right, you take it away, Jeff, while I work on my cake.
Okay, we talked about the tower. Both of the generators are fully installed and operational. We got that done last Friday. We put them through a series of load tests. We are good to go. And actually, it's just in the nick of time with the way the weather's been. Basically, everything is automatic. If the power goes out, there's a 10-second delay. After 10 seconds, the generator starts, and it's about 10 seconds after that, it transfers over, and the building's back up to full power. So this is exciting. We are now able to house, heating shelter, cooling shelter here and next door. So that's a wonderful thing. This morning at 10 o'clock.
Are they self-testing? Do they shut?
Yes, they self-test. They will every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. They do not put a load on it. It just basically starts the engine and charges it. Probably once every 6 months, we can do a manual test, like a load test, where I'll actually go outside, cut the power off to the building, make sure it exercises and everything's functioning normally. We'll set up a schedule for that. It'll probably be something, a Friday.
Kind of like a fire drill, but
Similar to that, yeah. Just to make sure everything is operating the way it should. Sure, it's good to do that.
Is there maintenance required for them?
Basically, once a year, they just change the oil. Coolant check. It's
Put them on kind of schedule like you put on for the well backup.
yeah, it's like, it's a regular, I think it's a 351 Ford engine. It's a big V8, so just standard maintenance. This morning, Jim had mentioned the RFP for all the entrances. We had 4 contractors that met here at 10 o'clock for the pre-mandatory walkthrough. Answered a couple of questions, took everybody out, showed them the entrances, kind of the ideas that we're thinking about doing. Those bids are, not bids, proposals are due back April 18th.
What day?
April
is it
18th.
18th or the 15th?
I believe it's the 18th, by 5 o'clock. There's no formal bid opening, it's just they're due by, because it's not a bid, it's proposal, and separate those two. And then, and I've been working on our Emerald Ash Borer plan. Since we did receive the grant, that's gonna come to fruition real quick here. I've done a draft letter that we can send to homeowners
We will also have a display here at the town hall meeting.
Yes.
That's taking place April 23rd. So they'll hear about that as well.
Yeah, I'll
We'll
put
promote it in
together
the
a
newsletter.
presentation
Yeah.
about the whole thing. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, any issues, headaches, or anything with the changeover to the LED overheads? They sure look nice at night.
So far, they've been operating perfect.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I've had a lot of comments, they are a lot brighter.
Oh, yeah, they give you a nice light.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I wanted to ask Georgianne, do you notice a difference when you're driving in? Do you see better on that other side of the road?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
It does throw it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've actually had some pretty decent comments on those.
Hey, Jeff, one question. Have you looked at the condition of the roads and seen as many potholes as I've been seeing lately, especially on Bliss? I know there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is,
Are you looking at addressing maybe filling these potholes somewhere?
yeah, right now we're just keep throwing the cold patch in there, but the problem is everything's so wet right now. It's there for a couple of days, but it pops back out.
It has to get a little warmer to see what goes down.
Well, yeah, I mean,
With the heating.
the intention would be, when the nice weather hits, is, we'll cut out a decent sized section of that and actually put regular asphalt and have it come in mold.
Right, okay.
And that we can do 90% in the house.
House, okay. Yeah, just notice a whole bunch of
Okay. Building official, Russ Braley.
Everybody should have my report. And nothing unusual. We cleaned up all the holiday decorations. Had 2 people left to pay fines. And other than that, that project was good. Working with the old ABC automation building. We have a new business that wants to go in there, a Red Top company, and we're trying to clean him up. So the company in there. So Mayor and I have been over there talking with this gentleman, so we can get that done in the next week or two. And, we'll see where that goes. And then we've got a mess back there where Fine Line is. That's going to be my summer project to clean that place up. It's a real
The
mess.
whole area in here.
Yeah.
Do you know whose mess it is?
No, we don't, not sure. I think some of it's Fine Line. On the other side of this, the road, I think.
Lake County Automotive.
Lake County Automotive could be, or that sign company could have stuff over there. I'm not sure.
I think it's all shared.
So, yeah, I think everybody's, one person piled and everybody else started piling on. So we're going to make a concerted effort to get that all cleaned up this summer. That's it.
Okay. EMA coordinator, Mike Benko.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations to yourself and the trustees on your reelection. We had something along the lines of this in a previous newsletter, but April is preparedness for people with access and functional needs. So if you would like to get on our list, there's still time, and I encourage you to do that. If in fact you do have some access or functional needs, you'd like Hainesville's emergency management to know about that. How to have a disaster. It just goes to say that in an ice storm, tornado, or other disasters, it can leave people without power, heat, or water for several days. So for those who may need some type of this assistance, these conditions can be even more dangerous if you're not prepared. The only other item I have is the next meeting is this coming Monday at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up is our treasurer, Kelly Hensley.
Okay, well, on tonight's agenda for approval is the estimate of revenue, the appropriation ordinance, and the budget for the village. So that has taken a lot of our time up in the office here in the staff, and I thank Trustee Daley for all his work with it too. Greatly appreciated. The other item is we really know how to have fun, and I scheduled our audit yesterday. So we will start that Monday, June 10th. They'll be here probably for the duration of the week. And it's the same auditing firm, different group of team that will be here at our Hainesville Village. And we'll be getting their letter for approval to be put on the next board meeting to go ahead and continue with the work. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Village clerk, or clerk. I'm laughing because we had the plan of approval that has some errors on it, and it refers to the village clerk.
All I have to report is we are working on business license renewals. Mayor Soto delivered some, and I delivered a few, and I know Jeff delivered a few. So we are working on that, and that's it.
Okay, we will move on to the mayor's report, and before I delve into that, I just want to say we have survived the election. I wish I could say the voter turnout had been better than it was. I would like to applaud all the candidates, not just the winners, but those who particularly ran a professional and ethical campaign, such as Jim Denoni, who's here tonight. There was a lot of mudslinging on this election in certain areas, and it was pretty appalling. So I'm glad to say the election is behind us. But again, I congratulate everyone. So hopefully lessons are learned with some other individuals and campaigners. And yes, Kathy said, mentioned business licenses. Last Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I delivered quite a few business license renewals. I like to go in and touch base with the owners and managers, particularly of businesses that it may not be a place where a customer would walk in on a regular basis. I mean, there's certain stores I'm in all the time, or getting gas, but then we have other businesses that you do not necessarily frequent as a resident. And also, Kathy did deliver the liquor license renewals for us, and Jeff also delivered some license renewals as well, especially in some of the harder to reach areas or where he does business with Public Works anyway.
Was Kathy required to test those places?
Yes.
But they were not willing to give her samples.
Yes.
Got no real negative feedback from any of the business owners, I'm happy to say. Of course, everybody wishes the economy was doing better, and so we're all hopeful and they're trying to be more creative in keeping their businesses going. I do want to let everybody know when I talked to the owner of Ingrid's Secret Garden, which if you haven't been there, it's a wonderful garden shop, and they have gifts and teas. She is renewing her business license, but she's gonna hang in there for maybe one more year. And unless things pick up, we don't know if we'll have her back. Her business is very up and down, and so right now is her busy time, but she's trying to diversify more with product. So if you haven't been there, please stop in and encourage your family and friends to visit. It is a very quaint shop. Has a lot of lovely items for your garden, tools, supplies, teas, and I think she's very reasonably priced for the quality. Her greenhouse in the back, she's not carrying as many plants as she used to, but she tends to carry the plants that are harder to find and, you know, that isn't sold everywhere. So please, again, stop by and take a look there. Also, in review of recent activities, Wednesday, March 13th, Trustee Duberstein and I attended a long-term planning session at the Grayslake Area Park District for planning for parks and programs into the long-term future. It was well-run and a productive session, so we really enjoyed the evening. I also want to thank Trustee Gary Walkington for overseeing the ribbon-cutting ceremony at Outrageous. That's one of our businesses. They had a grand reopening. They've expanded their businesses and they're offering more services. So thank you, Gary, I heard there was quite a crowd there. So if you're looking to get signs or t-shirts or awards, whether it's for business or sports or recognition, they do a very nice job. Very nice job, and have some very creative ideas. So stop in at Outrageous. That is on Main Street, Route 134 by Classic Printery, or where the Stop and Save store is. It's right there in the middle. Yesterday morning, I participated in Career Day at Grayslake Central High School. I taught 2 classes on local government and being a mayor. I did that a couple years ago, and they asked me to return. And I brought the village clerk, Kathy Metzler, with because we had the students run a mock board meeting. So I picked some kids out to be trustees. I picked out a couple kids to be residents with complaints and public comment time, and really got them engaged, really got them thinking about things. So it was a fun morning. Also, earlier today, I was at the Lake County Municipal League Board of Directors meeting. I serve on that board, and we approved the new budget for the upcoming year. I was also named a candidate for VP of the Board of Directors by the nominating committee, so that will be taking place, and if elected, I would become the VP of that Board of Directors in June. And we will be traveling down to Springfield next week to present our legislative concerns and meet with our representatives down there. And tomorrow night, we will have the SWELCO meeting here at the Hainesville Village Hall. That meeting had been postponed for March 28th because of spring break till tomorrow night. And so if you're looking for an update on group information, we'll also be reviewing a host agreement if group does move forward with the transfer station, so I encourage you to be at that meeting if you can. And I think that's enough. With that, we'll move on to the reports of the standing committees, starting with Finance. Trustee Daly.
Other than what Kelly said, just one note, the Finance Committee met tonight, and one item that came up for discussion was just put some basic information out there concerning employee raises for this coming year. No decisions will be made or were made at this point. We hope to have a recommendation to the board at first meeting of next month.
Okay. Public Works, Trustee Watkington.
My report kind of concerns a question for Jeff. We had another payment to Well Solutions. Are they finished capping well too?
I believe there is one portion that left that has to be done. Something to do with the encasement. Where they had to chop out some kind of pick up, they couldn't do it. That's the only portion that's left. But I did check, since they were installing the new well and capping the second well, we did have a standard quote price to do both. But they were working on separate projects at the same time. So that's why the bill was confusing, because it's showing X amount of dollars for this, but only a portion of it was for Project A, where the other portion was for Project B. But albeit it was all on the same sheet of paper. So that's,
Well, I guess what
it looks like we're spending a lot of money, but it's actually,
Do we want to split it out, or?
Was that a final payment? No, I'm just wondering, seeing how we got another bill, I'm just wondering if they were done. And apparently they're not.
yeah, there's just the standby that has to be
Clean up.
to clean up, yeah.
And that will be a separate bill, or is that included in the bills?
That'll be a separate,
Yeah, okay.
Another separate.
but that won't be over what the total for the original.
What our quote was.
What the quote was, right.
Okay.
I think they just typically bill on man hours and equipment that's there for the day, as opposed to completing the whole job and then doing the final payment.
Okay. Then our regular public works meeting is next week on the 17th at 6:30. And we're going to kind of start going over a capital outlay on what we need in the next 5 years as far as buildings and
The long
stuff that
term.
goes in it, you know.
Now, Jeff, you had started that, right?
Yeah, I have some documentation, but I think it'd be nice to meet at the committee level and maybe,
Oh, yeah, we need to get this
Assign.
down on paper, yeah.
you know,
Kelly mentioned to me yesterday that now that they had that audit, that maybe she had some numbers and stuff that she could help us with. And,
Yeah, I pulled that information out today, have not really fully looked at it, but I'm gonna review it tomorrow. There was some information on there that will help the Public Works Committee out.
Okay.
so we'll be kind of working on that, trying to get that going and get it done
Yeah.
here.
Well, and I think some of that, once you get an idea of how you're going to do this, I would encourage you, not even just at a committee meeting, but maybe you need to lock yourselves in the conference room for a couple of hours. You know what I mean? And if you have to order it a pizza, do it, because, you know, just take some leaps and bounds to get some of the meat down on paper, you know what I mean?
See if we can get something worked out here in the next couple of weeks where I can get busy.
Okay.
I'd just like to do it right now at the committee level, just to have more bodies
Right.
to see the things that I'm not seeing, you know, just for everybody to collaborate once we get everything down on paper here. Then, yeah, we can lock ourselves in a room and start, okay.
So if anybody else has any information that they want included in this, you know, to either put it down or get it in contact with Jeff or I, or leave it in the mailbox so we can get it included in the plan that we're put together.
Okay,
And that's all I have, thank you.
all right, thank you. Public safety, trustee Crease.
Thank you, Mayor. Last month, we did not have a public safety meeting due to the fact that we couldn't establish a quorum. But we have next week on Tuesday, April 16th, right here at the Village Hall, we're hosting a presentation on an issue that's getting greater and greater on identity theft. It's going to be presented by the Grace Lake Police Department, and it'll be right here at the Village Hall at 7 p.m. And hope everybody comes, most of our residents, and to get some information on what's going on, what's out there, and how they're trying to stop all this. And that's about it.
I want to ask, since we have some residents here tonight, did you all receive the fluorescent green postcard in the mail regarding the identity theft? Yes. George, no? Ted? Mark, no? Yeah, I got mine.
When did you get yours?
It should have been Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday?
They were mailed,
Yeah.
I would say mine was either Monday or
Tuesday.
Monday, yeah.
they were mailed on last Wednesday.
Okay, I want to say I got mine Monday.
Something about the identity theft.
A postcard, a green postcard?
I got mine.
You got yours,
Because
okay.
we're always a couple of days later on the.
Because you're a different post office, yeah. Jim Denome got his though. Today? Or-
No.
No?
Let's say Monday.
Monday, okay, okay.
Do you guys live on the wrong side of the tracks?
Yeah.
They're bad.
Also, we can do a CTY call. And any thoughts of when you think that call should go out?
I would probably say Monday.
Monday, the day before, or should they have more notice? What do you think? I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. No matter when I do it, somebody's unhappy, as far as the residents, some don't want phone calls.
They have the right to take their name off.
You know,
Yes, they do.
If you do it, let's see, the meeting's Tuesday, the one, oh yeah, that's right, okay, do one Friday, maybe Sunday,
I can do it Sunday,
more people at home, okay?
more people to irritate.
I was doing you, Jerry, I was thinking it was going to be Wednesday, that's why I said Monday.
I could say, well, since the voter turnout was so low, you're getting your CTY call.
You're not another elected for 2 years. And I'm here for 4.
Okay, all right. We are going to move on to wetlands and open spaces. Trustee Duberstein. And I think you're going to talk about the Great Age Club too, right?
Yes, yes. On the wetlands, we're awaiting the weather to clear so we can do a soil test over at Deer Point along 120 to make sure that the ground will accept trees, because we are planning an extensive tree planting in the village this year. We've applied for a grant from Commonwealth Edison for as a green region. Also, we've been designated as a tree city, so it would be appropriate that we have more trees. We're also waiting for permits from the Stormwater Management Division to put in a drain pipe in Hainesville Meadow so that it's more of a meadow and less of a lake. It'll drain the water off so we can have a more consistent water level, so we can do some planting and know that they won't be underwater. Other things, the Great Age Club wants you. If you are 62 or have anyone in your house that's 62 and or better, we'd love to have you join us in our activities. We meet the first Tuesday of the month at 2 o'clock here at the Village Hall, and usually have interesting programs, if I say so myself. And to give you an idea of some of our activities, tomorrow at 11, we're going to the new Grays Lake Senior Apartments across from Grays Lake on 120 for a tour. And then on May 3rd, we're going to CLC. They have a culinary school now, so we're going to go there for lunch. And then in the afternoon, we're going into Evanston. Jim Denomi is president of the Mitchell Museum, which is a Native American museum. And so we're all going down there for a tour. May 7th, our speaker at the meeting will be dealing with Lake County transportation and suggestions for independent living. Not moving into an independent living facility, but how to make your life in your house more independent. Also on Saturday, April 20th, the village is hosting the citizenship workshop for people who are interested in becoming citizens. We have volunteers, and we can use some more. If you're interested, contact the village. To be here, the workshop is from 9 to 2, but we need people here from about 8 to 3 to help them fill out the application for citizenship. So lots of things are going on, and we'd love to have more people in the village participating. Thanks. Well, we, as part of being Tree City, we have to do something for Arbor Day. Depending on the results of the soil test, we'll determine what kind of things we'll be planning to do that day. There will be some tree plantings, but how big a program will be will depend on the soil test.
So news to come. Watch for more, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and then community relations, trustee Darrenowski is not here tonight, and I don't believe they have met, so I don't have any update on that. We'll move on to business, and first item up, we have a resolution to join Lake County Coordinated Transportation Services Committee. Because of the time of day, their committee meeting is held. Trustee Duberstein volunteered to attend these meetings and start seeing what value it brings. So we look forward to hearing reports back on that. So do I have a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Crease.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daley.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution number R13-4-69.
Do we have a backup person or not?
I'm your backup.
Thank you.
Okay, number 2 is approval of the estimate of revenue for May 1st, 2013 through April 30th, 2014.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Crease.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daley.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Approval of the appropriation ordinance for May 1, 2013 through April 30th, 2014.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Crease.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daley.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried. 13-4-172.
Okay, item 4, approval of the budget for May 1st, 2013 through April 30th, 2014.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Crease.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett. Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thanks everybody for their input and work on getting this budget ready. All the committees had to participate, Kelly, and Kathy, and everyone in-house, so thanks for your hard work.
Fergie? I'm gonna make an announcement. Okay, last item under business, item 5, is the approval of utility bill rate changes for garbage and water services effective May 2013.
I have a correction, informational correction on that. If you look at the sheet under the word water service, the letter M has been used to signify thousands, and the typical letter should be a K. I think that's more common usage, so I just suggest that we change all those M's to Ks.
And that was a government thing that I think comes from Lake County, where I use the M as a Roman number, but I have no problem being a K. I think the main thing, we just want to emphasize that you all know that the water rate is talking per 1,000 gallons, is what we're trying to emphasize there. So, in regards to the water rate has not been changed since the creation of our water system, ever. We have one of the lowest water bills in the area. Rather than raise, per se, the monthly amount, it has been $26.60 for 10,000 gallons per month. And then any 1,000 gallons you go over, you've been paying $3.10 per 1,000 gallons of overage. Now, what we've decided to do is we've looked at the average usage among our customers, and the average usage falls between 7,000 and 8,000. So we're going to keep the rate of $26.60, but make it for 8,000 gallons rather than 10. So if you use more than 8,000 gallons per month, you will pay extra per 1,000 gallons. And rather than paying $3.10, you will pay $3.50 per 1,000 gallons over. And historically, obviously, I don't think it's too hard to grasp that a month like January, the water usages are typically pretty low, and July is one of our highest months for water usage because we're all out washing our cars, we're trying to keep the grass green, and if you have vegetable gardens and flowers, we all water like crazy. Now, the good news is we do give summer sewer credits to help offset some of that in the summer bill. But you will be paying that extra. But we also hope this encourages people to conserve water, because we still have a lot of water that is wasted in the summer. We see people put on sprinklers and they forget about it and they leave them going for hours. And so that is a problem. So we're hoping this might get people's attention and get them to conserve on water. And then, we recently went out to bid for our garbage service. So the good news is our garbage rate is basically staying the same, except we're getting additional services. We've added the leaf vacuum service. So for 6 weeks in the fall, you'll be able to sweep your leaves to the curb and have the leaf vacuum service. Also, again, residents should have received either today in the mail, some yesterday, and some still may not have gotten it, a postcard. And again, we'll be talking about this at our town hall meeting. It'll also be in the newsletter. You have an opportunity to upgrade to a larger recycle unit. Right now, you have a 65-gallon recycle unit. Your garbage is 95. You can now also get a 95-gallon recycle unit. We hope that people will recycle more. We do get requests from families that have a lot of recyclables that they don't have enough room. Now, I want to address the issue of, I've been asked by some residents if we could get different size garbage containers and pay different rates. What we found is a lot of the waste haulers are getting away from that. They will not use the 35-gallon can anymore. It is an awkward can, because even if you have little garbage, usually you have those odd boxes or things that are an odd shape, and they don't fit in the 35-gallon container anyway. So they really don't want to go under a 65-gallon unit. And we found, in our case, for a number of homes, very little savings. So we're sticking to the unlimited service, and you can either switch up your recycle or keep it as is. That option will be available once a year every May. Is there any questions for discussion on anything that's on the sheet that you have so far? There's some additional paperwork that's clipped, that's all. Oh yeah, the yard waste stickers, those have been $2.50 in the past. They're now gone down a quarter, so the yard waste stickers have been reduced to $2.25. And I want to make it clear that that is not anything the village makes 1 penny on. We pass that on to you as is. So in the request for proposals, we got a reduced rate from $2.50 to $2.25. And besides being able to get those here at the Village Hall, you'll still be able to get those at Walgreens, 7-Eleven, and both Ace Hardware stores, both Round Lake and the Grays Lake store. So that's kind of good news, I think. I think that's exciting news, especially about the legal. Now, for comparison's sake, and this is something that we'll also have on display at the town hall meeting, I have an example from Karen Noble, our utility clerk, what a bill looks like for a household of 2 adults and 4 children. And it shows how they would be billed today at the system that we've been using. And it shows January, which is a low usage month, and July right below. And then the column to the right shows what their new bill would be with these changes I just covered. So we go from $77.60